Now let's see how to remove an item from our dictionary. Suppose I want to remove Americano and its corresponding value. I can simply use the inbuilt method pop. So prices.pop Americano will remove Americano from our dictionary, and it will return the value associated with this particular key. Now, previously we saw how to use the del keyword to delete a key value pair. The del keyword does not return the value associated, but it removes the key value pair from our dictionary. Now, when we use the pop also removes the key value pair from the dictionary, but it returns the value back. We can use the value to print what Americano costs. We know that it's $12.5, so the return value is 12.5. Now, we also need to be careful when we are using the pop method. If we pass an argument or a key which does not exist, this function will cause an exception. It will throw an exception, and the exception is of type key error. So let's run the program again. And notice now we got a runtime exception. The runtime exception says that there was a key error since we were trying to pop a key that does not exist within our dictionary. So in order to handle this, we can again use the try except method. We can put this particular line in a try except method and handle the exception in the except block. Or we can simply pass an additional argument to this function call, which will be the default value that is used when the key does not exist. So suppose latte exists, it returns the value associated with latte. If it does not exist, it simply returns none. Okay, so now let's run the program again and check what's the value when we pop latte with capital L. Now notice, since latte with capital L is not part of our dictionary, it simply returns none. And when we try to pop latte this time with the correct case, it should remove latte and it should print the corresponding value, which is equal to 10. So the second parameter is used only when the key does not exist. If the key exists, the value returned is the corresponding value. And also, now we can see that prices will have one element less. So it only has 3 key value pairs, and latte is not part of it. Okay, now let's look at what happens when we call the pop item method. So suppose we are not interested in removing a specific element, we simply want to remove the last element, we can use the pop item method. So when we call pop item on prices dictionary object, the return value now is a tuple, which is a key value pair. Previously, we were passing a key to the pop method and it was returning a value. This time, since we are not passing any thing to this pop item method, it returns us both key and the value. So now when I print val, we should see Irish coffee and its corresponding value, which is $10. Okay, now let's look at how to create nested dictionaries. So a nested dictionary means that the value of the dictionary of a key is also a dictionary. So here I'm creating digits. The keys are integers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the corresponding values are all dictionaries. The second dictionary has 2 keys. The first key is word and its value is a string. Second key is again Roman. Its value is again a string. Now suppose I want to access a particular key value pair in this nested dictionary. Let's see how to do that. So I want to know what is 1 in Roman. To do that, first I can use the square brackets operator with the first key. The first key is an integer, so I can use one of the 5 integers. Since I want to know what is 1 in Roman, the first key is 1. This will return as the value, which is a dictionary. So I can again use the square brackets operator, this time with the corresponding key, to get its value. Since I want to know what is 1 in Roman, the second key is Roman. So now when we print both the dictionary digits and the second 1 in Roman, we should see the corresponding prints. Okay. Next, let's see what happens when we construct a new list by passing a dictionary as an argument. So here I'm creating a variable called keys, and it's assigned with a value which is, I'm creating a new list by using lists and within parentheses and passing a dictionary object. Now what this does is should be evident by the name of the variable. This will simply return the keys that are part of our dictionary in a new list. So keys is now a list of keys within our dictionary digits. Since 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 were the keys of our dictionary digit, keys is now a list which contains elements 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, once we create this list of keys, suppose we modify our original dictionary, this list of keys will not be changed. So to see that, first let's pop an item from our digits dictionary. This will remove the last key value pair, and then let's simply print the data structure keys or the value keys, and let's look at the values. Now notice keys before popping is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Keys after popping is also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So once we create a new list of keys using the syntax, even if we modify the original dictionary, we will not see the changes in the keyword in the variable that where we have stored the keys. Suppose we want this variable to change whenever we change or modify the dictionary, then we need to use the following syntax. So here I'm creating again two variables, keys and values. Keys here is now the written value of this function called dot keys. So digits is a dictionary object, and I'm calling an inbuilt method inbuilt method keys. This will return as a view of the keys. We will not worry about what view is. For now, let's simply look at the print statements. Similarly, I can use an inbuilt method values. This will return as a view of the values, and we can simply use keys and values in our print statement, and this should print the keys and the values. Notice keys has 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 as its elements, and values as corresponding values. Now the type of this variable keys is dict underscore keys. The type of this variable values is dict underscore values. We will not worry about what these types are. All I want you to remember is these types are iterable types in Python, so we can simply use these types to iterate in a loop. We can also convert them into lists by passing them as an argument to the list constructor. The more important point that we should see with this particular syntax is, now suppose I remove an item from our dictionary digits. Let's see whether removing this item will change the keys and the values variable. So now let's print keys after pop item. Now notice before pop item it was 1, 2, 3, 4. Now after pop item it has only 3 keys, 1, 2, 3. So removing an item from the dictionary updates the keys and the values, since we use the inbuilt method dot keys and dot values. Now the view is simply saying that we are getting a view of the keys of our original dictionary. If we modify the original dictionary, the view also changes. Okay. Next, let's look at what happens when we use equal to copy a dictionary. With lists, we saw that this does not do, this will not copy lists. This is simply, digits 1 is simply an alias to digit. So the behavior is again the same with dictionary. So digits 1 is an alias to digits, it's not a copy. Suppose I remove an item from digits 1, it also removes the item from digits. So I'm printing digits before pop item. So let's look at digits. Notice digits has 3 key value pairs. Now I'm removing one key value pair using the pop item method. And now when I print digits back, notice again digits has only 2 key value pairs now. Even though we used the pop item method on digits 1 object, it also affected the digits object. So digits 1 is simply an alias. If we actually want a copy, we need to instead use the method copy. This creates a new copy of this dictionary and stores it within digits 1. So now when we execute this line and print digits before and after the pop item, we should see that digits should remain the same. So it has 2 key value pairs before pop item, and after pop item it still has 2 key value pairs. However, digits 1 should have only 1 key value pair, since we removed 1 item using pop item. So simply writing A is equal to B when A and B are both dictionaries, it creates an alias. If we want a copy, we need to use the inbuilt method copy. Now the in operator and the not in operator also works with dictionaries. We can simply use the in operator to check whether a key is part of the dictionary or not. And similarly, not in to check whether the key is not in the dictionary. Since 1 is in the dictionary, this should return a true. Since 100 is not a valid key in digits, it should return again a true. Okay. Next, let's see how to iterate over keys. So there are 2 ways we can iterate over keys. The first way is we can simply write for obj in my_dict. My_dict is now a new dictionary. Keys are A, B, C. Values are 1, 2, 3. Now we saw the syntax again with lists. With lists, obj will be an element within the list. Now with dictionary, this will be the key instead of the value. So when we print in this for loop obj, we should simply see the keys A, B, C. We can also use the keys method. Since it returns as an iterable, we can simply use for key in my_dict.keys. This is again a valid syntax, and we can simply print all the keys. This should again print ABC. And we can again use dot values. Since dot values returns as an iterable object, which is of type dict_values, we can simply use that in the for loop and print all the values. Okay, now this time it prints 1, 2, 3. Now we can also use the inbuilt method items, and this time it will return us a key value pair, which is a tuple. So let's look at the syntax first. So syntax is for obj in my_dict.items. So items is an inbuilt method within this class dictionary. This returns as a tuple of key value pairs. So obj is of type tuple, and the first element of obj is the key, second element is the value. So now when I run this for loop, we should see the 3 tuples A, B, A1, B2, C3, and each of them are of type tuple. Okay, we can also use the unpacking of tuples. So here I'm unpacking the return value of this items method to 2 different variables, k, v. K will be the first element of the tuple, which is the key. V will be the second element of the tuple, which is the value. So now when we print this, we should simply again see the key value pairs. Just A1, B2, and C3. So these are some different ways of iterating through a dictionary. And finally, I want to show you an example of how to do comprehension with dictionaries. Previously, we saw comprehension works with lists. Now we will see that it also works with dictionaries. So here I'm creating a new dictionary, squares, and let's look at what is the content of this dictionary. Okay, now notice the content of the dictionary. Each key is now just simply x. So square of 0 is 0, square of 1 is 1, square of 2 is 4, square of 3 is 9, square of 4 is 16. So each key is x and each value is x square. So it's again key colon value, and then we are writing the for to loop through x within range 0 to 10, and instead of writing this within square brackets, we're writing this within a pair of braces. So this creates a dictionary instead of a list. So this ends the topic on dictionary.